Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And yes, Country Prepper, you did win a tumbler. You're a winner. You were a winner. I think that maybe you were tipsy. You saying you were drunk. Good morning, everybody. We're going to get into this. We got some real important incoming news. Good morning, Texas Red Lake. We got some really important incoming news. I'll be right back. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm glad to see everybody. So, that little clip right there is what China has been doing to the United States military. So there, since 2021, since the end of 2021, there's been a lot of instances where the Chinese military were so close to our assets, to our wingspans, that literally they could film them. And these instances are gaining more and more momentum. So I thought I'd bring that to the attention of the channel that China is definitely playing with the United States military. One thing I want to say, being prior Navy, is that one thing that we have going for us is that we do have top technology in planes, munitions, but the problem is this is that we've been giving so much away. That's a huge problem. I'm sure y'all agree. Good morning, West Texas. Brandy F, Scruffy Scrubs, Carmen. Good morning, everybody. I'm glad to see you, Texas Red Lake, Gladys Q. I'm glad to see all of you. So now we have another situation and another problem because we know the current administration really should not be sticking their head in anything in the Middle East right now. And what are they doing? Oh, yes, good old Joey Joe, Potato Joe is flying over there. He's already landed. He's landed, and I don't think that's a good thing in any way, shape, or form because he's not very much of a peacekeeper. He's more of an instigator. He has been very much instigating shit around the world. He has the worst policies, the worst. He's getting every ally that we still have on board to just go on away. So Biden pledges solidarity with Israel and suggest other teams to blame for Gaza hospital blast. I have to say this on the DL here. So read sign language. No, you know. I want to say this. Good morning, Cherie. Good morning, Rick. I want to say this. There's a lot of information coming in about the hospital that supposedly blew up. Okay. I will be posting it over on Telegram today. There is a lot of information coming in about that. Dragonfly said, "Don't do it. You'll probably get you another strike." I don't need strikes. I need to be here. I want to be here with all of you for as long as we possibly can. Tonight at 8 p.m. Central Time, we are going to have just a down to earth OTWP mag get together, music, fun, laughter, and a little bit of trivia. So, and the trivia is going to be prepping. But I think that so many things are happening right now. And then on top of it, on top of all the chaos, there has been a oil embargo placed. So oil is going to surge after Iran calls for oil embargo against Israel. So this is something that's going to affect all of us because we know that we can't stand on our own about anything anymore. Good morning, JR, Fisherman 12. So oil surges after Iran calls for oil embargo against Israel. The oil prices have already spiked today, morning after Iran called for an oil embargo against Israel over its airstrikes in Gaza. The Iranian foreign minister, Hossein, and this last name is a whopper, Amir there you go, said there should be an immediate and complete embargo on the Zionist regime by Islamic countries, an oil embargo against the regime. Bloomberg reported, citing a ministry statement on Telegram. He also urged Muslim countries to expel Israeli ambassadors immediately. So we are seeing so many things heat up. I think by probably the spring of this coming year, we are going to see gas here in the United States, or maybe quicker, over the $5 mark. And I know each and every, good morning, Terry Lee. Good morning. Glad to see you. Good morning, Elaine. Everyone, welcome Elaine back to the chat. She's been under the weather, and we're so happy to see our sister back. I missed you, Elaine. You know, Israel is a small importer, and while other Middle Eastern energy producers, including Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, have criticized Israel for its strikes on Gaza, they've not talked of halting sales to any of its allies. The other thing that it already gained, rising as much as 3.5% following the comments. Just when it happened, it went up 3.5%. So I think that, right now it's at a higher of 92.30 a barrel as of 7:15 a.m. Eastern time today. We are going to see more and more things happen. We also have the Walmart previous CEO coming out and saying expect shortages, expect higher prices. Jesus, criminy, Lord help us. How much higher can we go? I mean, I don't know how much y'all are seeing, but like a loaf of bread here in the state of Missouri is roughly a little over $3. Does anybody else know what their bread prices are? Drop what your bread prices are in the state. I'm telling you, folks, if you're not prepped up, you're going to be SOL. And you are going to be shit out of luck. You're going to be sitting around singing Kumbaya because it's about to go down. We have too many things occurring at one time. And I think that each and every one of us need to realize this. We also have a global, you hear me, folks, global insecurity that could lead to prescription drug shortages. So you better be prepared. If you are on a medicine, you better see, we've been talking about it for over a year. See if the doctor will give you 2, 3, 4 months at a time. Be 3.49 a loaf, $1.34 at Wally World. I try not to support the Wally Worlds of the world. I try to support the mom and pop shops, but sometimes we got to do what we got to do. So I'm not going to say anything about that. I mean, if they have it for $1.34 a loaf, we all better load up, or you better have a manual grinder and a way to produce your own flour and your own simple bread. Global insecurity could lead to prescription drug shortages. Be prepared. This just came out this morning. The peace and stability we enjoyed under our past president Trump is now a distant memory. Boy, is it. How many of you agree that it is a distant memory? While he was in, people can say what they want, but he was a peacemaker. He was a peacemaker. And now we have bloodshed, turmoil, instability, and it's sweeping not only across the United States, but across the Middle East, across Russia and Ukraine. And I think it's really funny how they want us to have all eyes on Israel, which is a catastrophe. But what's happening in Ukraine and Russia, and what's happening right here in the United States? The death and destruction we're seeing on our TVs have dozens of unforeseen impacts on Americans. Global instability on a scale we haven't seen in decades is not only possible, but likely. Should the war in Israel expand to others in the Middle East, we better prepare for a seriously bumpy ride. This instability will not only mean higher gas prices, and increased inflation, but also, folks, it could mean serious challenges to the supply chain across the world. Supply chain issues would put pressure on already stressed healthcare systems. I want to say this: when I went to the doctor, I had never seen such a monkey show. I mean, it was a total circus. Somebody that is in the waiting room with a shotgun wound, a wound, a major heart issue, usually they don't make you wait in any way, shape, or form. I feel that when the purge happened, the purging of our teachers, our medical staff, our first responders, our military, when that happened, what did they replace them with? Some bozos from Lord knows where. Do these folks even have the credentials to be a doctor? Do they even have the credentials to be a teacher? And we know that the teacher thing in the public schools is about downright sick. They are putting people in there that could harm and endanger our children. But we're going to see more and more. The US Senate found that the drug shortages were up 30% in 2022, including shortages in common antibiotics and antiparasitics. Now, remember also, they did take a lot of things out of the veterinarian clinics where you used to be able to walk in and buy some of those parasitics that people were using. Was it right or wrong? Well, I have to say this for YouTube. I don't know YouTube. I think that maybe they didn't work. Or did they? Indeed, the same US Senate report found that as much as 80 to 90% of certain key ingredients for common medications are made overseas. Well, go team go. The United States, we can just stand about on nothing anymore. We don't have manufacturing in this country. We don't even have decency toward brothers and sisters in this country. We have a crime rate that's off the chart. We have food shortages coming in. Now we have medical supplies coming in that are going to be short. And then on top of that, we're sending all of our munition overseas to leave our borders open for the full-on Trojan horse. How many of you believe the Trojan horse is already within our own borders, just waiting to raise their ugly heads? Hit a one. Indeed, now more than ever, consumers should be looking for alternatives to prescription medication, and that's where Z-Stack comes in. So y'all might want to check out Z-Stack. It's an the over-counter version of Zellico protocol. It was famously followed by former President Donald Trump when he had COVID. So I'm going to say this: check into other means. Definitely check into other means, because we all know that big pharma, here I go. I might get myself in trouble. Big pharma's full of shit. How about that? We all know that big pharma they want you to go get the Kool-Aid of the month. It's heartbreaking, actually. I was speaking with Foxy Mama yesterday, and they have our elders so wrapped up in that every year they need to go get another. Let's go get the Kool-Aid. What is the Kool-Aid? Do y'all remember Jim Jones massacre? Do y'all remember that? The Jim Jones massacre. They took all the poor people from Chicago and Minneapolis and Detroit down to Guyana. And what occurred there? Could we have a repeat of that? Let's force people to do things that they really don't need to do. Let's force people that are healthy to just wipe out their ass. Just wipe it out. Just let's do it all together. I want to say, folks, let's check into the Palestine and Israel situation. In my personal take on this, you know, I believe that this is the tipping point. I really believe this is the tipping point, because as you can see, let me make sure this is pulled up on the screen. Of course, it's not OTWP. Wake up. And Dragonflies, I'd just like to inform you the reason we didn't have internet is because I took out the cards and I replaced them backwards. Only OTWP would do that. That's why our internet's been down. So, uh, yeah, yeah. And it's very sad. It's actually very sad. What's up, Jake? What's going on, Nunya? If y'all would want to drop links, we are the link dropping son of a guns now. I don't give a shit. Let's support each other. Drop your links. If you want a link dropped, ask a mod. Please, mod, help me. And if you're not a mod here, well, there's a good reason for that because we don't make everybody mods on this channel because I've had too much chaos and headache. But if you'd like your link dropped, just ask a mod. Mods are great here on the OTWP, and we really appreciate you. That's for sure. Also, I do want to say one other thing is that there was the ammo plant fire in Grand Island, Nebraska. Now, they're saying it was the primer industry area of that plant, but we also seen that there's a few different ammo companies that are no longer going to be selling. So I would say at this point, folks, well, go to those flea markets, go to those sales, go to anywhere you can, and out of everything that we really need at this point, we need our Second Amendment. Our Second Amendment is keeping us from a tyrannical overreach. And if they try to snag our Second Amendment, make sure you have a backup to the backup. That's all I'm going to say on YouTube. Have a backup to the backup. Be smarter than the average. Don't show it. Don't talk about it. Don't tell where it's at, and do what you got to do. Because sooner or later, folks, we're going to all need to stand together, arm in arm, shoulder to shoulder, and kick some ass. That's what I got to say. Yeah. Okay. That's good. Anybody else? Yeah. Well, and we also had one other thing I want to bring up is I was looking at the train derailments, and that train derailment happened in Pueblo, Colorado. Now, Simon Templer brought up an idea to me that there was something on that train that wasn't supposed to get from point A to point B. So as I looked closer, well, good old Simon, he was on point. And I always appreciate Dreaded Seeker and Simon Templer's input on things. They are great researchers. They have been our reporters on the ground, as you would say, for this channel for over 2 years. And I really appreciate it. Dreaded Seeker, I've been missing you. Just so you know, Dreaded Seeker, I wanted to put that out there. But I think that as we see things escalate, folks, we're going to see more of this internal sabotage. And honestly, when all these train derailments started, right? When all these train derailments started, let's think about something. Isn't it interesting that they found little boxes on the tracks? Oh, but they were just put there because that's how we switch a train from track to track. I call total bullshit. We have to also look at the Hoover Dam and the Hoover Dam situation. That was a test run. That was a test run to see, well, will these transformers blow up on demand inside of the United States electrical grid? I just got a really good person that I've been talking to, and I will not say his name. He might be coming on here. He is a nuclear engineer, biologist, whatever you call. I don't know what you call him. He is a bigwig. So me and him were talking about this, and I want to say this. Myself, Texas Red Leg, Roaming Prepper, we had that battlefield board, and we were discussing what would happen if the grid went down, and that as they pulled it back up in sectors, would it be able to come back up? So as I was talking to him, me and him started talking about this. And so what I want to say is that he actually told me that if any part of the grid goes down in the United States, any sector, the minimum time that it will take to get it back up is 18 months. 18 months. Do y'all hear me? So imagine living without power, living without possibly, no internet, no comms. The comms will be very low. You're going to have you a ham radio and some other things. But imagine 18 months. Now, what if they hit a sector on the West Coast and a sector on the East Coast? How long will that take us to get back up? And will we be able to accomplish coming back up, right? And you're right, that's a minimum, Naked and Afraid. And this guy knows his shit, okay? This guy knows his shit inside out and upside down. because the thing is too is the transformers. So yeah, if it's down a week, yeah, well, we'll have all the grocery stores. Think about this. I'll go back to this other subject here in a minute. I think this is really important because this could affect each and every one of us, right? But let's talk about this, Jake, on a down to earth manner. One, anybody that's on dialysis, anybody that has to go into the hospitals on a regular basis is going to be SOL and probably perish. That's number one. Number two, all systems will be down. Electrical will be down. They were built in Germany, but the thing is the transformer relays that were put in Texas Red Lake, I proved it, they're all made in Chia. They're all made in Chia. And at one time, we purchased very minimal from other countries. We mostly dealt with Germany. We also dealt with different parts of EU. Then the United States started purchasing them more and more and more, these relay transformers that are inside the transformers from China. And then they scrubbed the article that was public knowledge, redid it, re-put it back up, and then they wanted to alter the numbers. And that's the damn truth. Yeah, that's cool, Redwood. Nice to see you, man. Yeah, it's really nice to see you. Yeah, the Transformers are not coming in from Germany like they used to. During the 1970s and 80s, and also into the early 90s, the majority of the Transformers were from Germany. Then they switched over and did all this bullshit, right? And I agree with you. We are super screwed. And I believe that the way to take down this country is to take down our grid. If they take, and then also we have to realize what has been happening around the military bases in the United States. China has been purchasing more and more. We have states that actually raised up and said, hold on a minute. We don't want you that close to our military base, right? And what happened is they got rolled over. And there's been a lot of frivolous corporations, fake phonies, whatever you want to call them, hidden, that have purchased these properties. So who really is behind the purchase of the properties? That is something. If you really think about it, who really purchased the properties? Was it the actual people on the paper or was it ghost people? And I believe that it was ghost people. And when I say ghost people, just people hidden in the shadows, and we all know who that is. We all know who that is. I think it's very important, folks, that yeah, a large resistor. Yeah, we're headed for complete chaos. And I think that right now what we're getting geared up for, Super Dave, would somebody drop Super Dave's channel? He's super cool. He's a lot of fun. Uh, and he just hit 10K. Congratulations, Super Dave. I thought I'd be at 20K, but here I said back down to 4 grand, 4,000. 4 grand would be okay too. The shit they're going for broke, right? Yeah. Well, and think about this, Redwood. I want to, before I go into the military aspect of just what's going on around the world. Think about this, folks. Do you remember about a year and a half ago, Facebook went down for one day, and people we had a check in. It was the funniest shit ever. People came checking in. Are you okay? Did you have a effing meltdown over Facebook? And people really were losing their damn minds over Facebook. So imagine if all comms go down. Plus, we have a generation of entitled little assholes that think that they need everything, and they will be the first ones out there pushing and shoving and stealing everything they can, which with me, I honestly believe within less than 24 hours, all grocery stores will be boarded up, locked up, and done and over. Probably within 10 to 12 hours. They won't even be able to make it a day. And then we will have the gas stations where people will be looting the gas stations, liquor stores, and the small convenience stores. They will be closed down within hours or completely looted out. We already see this across the United States with these flash mobs, and they're not the happy singing flash mobs anymore. Do you remember the kids we showed 2 years ago that were singing Hallelujah, and they were a flash mob, and it was a wonderful thing. Now these flash mobs are crime mobs, and I think that they are being initiated by several factors in the United States. One, oh, it's okay. Go ahead and commit a crime because shit ain't going to happen to you. We don't even charge you bail anymore. You just get out on a free note because we don't want you here. We'd rather have you on the street to commit another crime against your brothers and sisters here in the US. We also have this this massive, massive shit coming in from the southern border. And we all know that these are military age men. One of those guys that came across, I ran across an article. Oh, Jesus criminy. Thanks, Brandy. Just pissing my Wheaties. Gosh dang, first thing this morning. I need more coffee shit. You just pissed in my Wheaties. Well, like we have so much freaking money to give away, right? But let me talk about this guy real quick. He was in his early 30s. He committed the most heinous crime ever and murder, rape of a minor. And what are we bringing in here? What in the hell are we bringing across the border? There, I proved it yesterday on the news broadcast. If you missed it, there is no vetting system of these people that are coming across. If they're not a felon, well, do you think that if I'm sending you all my riffraff from another country, that I'm going to have them marked on any kind of chart in my country? Hell no. I want you to take them. You take them. You take them because they're going to cause you plenty of chaos and plenty of turmoil. So, just as I said just a few minutes ago, Biden's over there, $100 billion. Why don't we split that up among 400 million people, legal people in the United States? Why don't we send out a damn check to everybody? Jesus, criminy, Lord help us. Whoa, I just slapped my desk. I might have to pinch myself after that shit. Just like I said, Biden would go over there, raise his ugly head, let me see if I can buy you off this morning. Oh, buy off. Huh. Is that kind of what happened with the gun charge of good old Hunter Hunter? Is that what happened? Oh, get me fired up this morning. Gosh dang, somebody somewhere. This is the shit that we're dealing with. We are dealing with the most corrupt, unstable, old farts up in DC that you ever seen. They need to take all of them and they need to roll them on out to the nursing home. Well, maybe not even give them a roll to the nursing home. Let's just push them out the street. Let them sit there like Americans are doing across the country because they can't afford to have a house. They can't afford to pay a utility bill. See, my granddad, me and my mom were just talking about this. My granddad said that someday it would come to the United States where they would wipe out the middle class. And I think that they're on a damn roll. They're trying to wipe out the middle class because, well, then that gives them that overreach. How many of you feel that they are really in this country trying to wipe out the middle class? It's bullshit. Hit a one, hit a one right now if you feel like they're wiping out the middle class. There People are losing jobs all across the United States. People's kids are in turmoil. People's kids don't know if they're a furry, a boy, a girl, or a god dang, I don't even know. I don't even know what they're calling them now. There's a kid stood out here in my front yard, told me there was over 150 genders, and he said I stood up in school and told them they were full of shit. I said, well, go. He also whooped somebody's ass because they raised a hand to their mama. You know what? That's what kind of men we need. We mean men with some balls. Men, stay away from the goddamn fast food because they're putting some shit in there to make them nice and mushy and soft for you. Y'all need to stay away from that bullshit. I tell you what, this country is in a whirlwind of shit. A whirlwind of shit. And until the day that we all stand up for what we believe in, first of all, get the out of the goddamn matrix and quit thinking that you have to consume everything. We don't have to buy every goddamn thing that they want to put on our plate. We don't have to buy the new cell. Oh shit, there's a new $10,000 cell phone coming out. Let's go grab one. Jesus criminy. Do y'all remember when we used to have dial up? Hello. Do y'all remember those days? Do y'all remember the days of a flip phone that cost you $35 and lasts for 10 years? They have turned us into the consumer nation. A consumer nation. We want, we got to have this. Oh shit. I got to keep up with this. I got to do this. I'll tell you what we got to keep up with. We got to keep up with the bullshit that Washington, D.C. is stuffing down our throats, trying to take away our right of freedom of speech, trying to take away our Second Amendment. The day they get our guns, folks, we're fucked. That's it. Bottom line, we are fucked. And I'll tell you what, folks, if we don't get on point right now, if we don't quit boo-hooing about every goddamn time we stub our damn toe, we're a bunch of pussy pansy asses here in the United States. We have been led down the soft road, and soft road makes lazy people. That goes out to men and women. We have been conditioned to accept their bullshit from every angle. And until the day that we rise up and say, no more, we're not going to do this. We're not going to take your shit. We're not going to feed into your corrupt system. We've had enough. And until people we become like Africa, we're going to have to be tribal and get out on the goddamn streets and say, nope, not today, you SOBs. And I'm not asking, I never, ever, ever promote violence. But I'll tell you what, there comes a time and a place that if we don't stand together, we're all going to just keep on capitulating and we're going to fall until we can't fucking stand back up. And that day's coming. That day's coming because they made us too soft. Oh, I can go to the store and get me a loaf of bread and whatever. Let me go get me a goddamn steak today. Quit being an arrogant asshole. Get back to basics. Learn how to plant a garden. Learn how to stand on your own 2 feet. Get off the goddamn grid and tell them to suck wind. I'm not going to pay your goddamn electric bills that are full of shit anymore. You take this little cabin from $70 to 300. Are you freaking out of your goddamn mind? I haven't done nothing different. But I've done something different lately. We've been unplugging this bitch from every goddamn electric pole thing we have. I'm not going to feed into their system. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the overreach. And the IRS, you can also stick it up your ass too. Because let me tell you about the IRS. That's voluntary. See, they stuffed some bullshit down our throats about that. And let me talk about, oh shit, I'm on a rant. Here we go. Let me tell you this, folks. I'm feeling much, much better, obviously. But let me tell you something. I've been talking to a lot of retired folks across this country. And you know what's downright sickening? And this happened to my own mother as well. When G passed away, why is it the fat cats get, oh, I served a term in Washington, D.C., so pay me the rest of my lazy ass. Let me get a 6-digit income off of your back for the rest of my life. Oh, and I need security and a limo and plane rides, and I need comp meals, and the list goes on and on and on. But gosh dang, when an elder dies that served this country, that has retirement, that is on Social Security, that they've misused and abused for all these years, what happens? Oh, I'm going to stop your shit right now. We're going to have to evaluate how much money you get. Bullshit. Bullshit. Social Security was set up, each one of us with an account number, supposedly a bunch of bullshit right there, stuffed down our goddamn throats too. And what do they? That's right, Nunya. That's right. And you go 6 feet under and you're still getting taxed. Well, tax my ass. Why don't you just put a dart in my ass as you bury me 6 feet under, you son of a bitches? Listen, folks. Listen. I'm going to tell you this right now. They took away a lady's husband's retirement and decided it was best for her just to get her Social Security. Cut her income from $2,600 a month down to $800. Aren't they fucking nice? Aren't they nice? They took my mother's income, took away the goddamn he just got 100% disability from the VA after all the years he served. He got it for 1 year before he died. I'm the government, and I'm going to tell you something. We're going to go ahead and take away his VA benefits from you, ma'am. But not only that, we're going to freeze his Social Security for a few months. 6 months it took him. 6 months it took him to say, oh, well, okay, now we're going to take away your Social Security, give you his Social Security because it's more. Bullshit. Why shouldn't it be layer upon layer? Oh, that's right. Keep us poor and broke. Well, fuck you, government. Fuck that bullshit. I'll tell you what, folks. Yep. 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 Exactly. And until the day that we say this is enough bullshit, fuck going over there to the war shit. I'm on a roll. Fuck that. We're going to talk real shit here. We're going to talk real shit. These are the things that matter. These are the things that we can change. The things that are happening in Israel, Ukraine, Russia, and now with old Biden flying his happy ass over there to Israel here, I got a great idea. I'm going to write out a check that I can't even cover. I can't even cover my own people. I have to steal from our people that die. But yet everybody in the government, well, they just keep on getting paid. What about the next time they say that we can't reach budget? Why don't they cut their shit off? Why don't they cut everybody's shit off? Cut all of it off. Why don't they? We're the only country that gives out, here's a debit card, welcome to the USA. Here's you a free cell phone. Now, where do you want to go? Oh, you want to go to Chicago. You're an illegal, but go ahead, jump on the Happy Bus. And then from the Happy Bus, we're going to put you on a plane and we're going to fly you there free of charge. It's not free. It's not free. It's on you. It's on me. It's on everybody that pays taxes every single year. Well, maybe it's not on me, but maybe it's on you. I'll tell you what, the IRS is voluntary. Look it up. Go down the deep rabbit hole about that shit, and you will be one pissed off mama or daddy. We have been sold a bill of goods to support their corruption, and there's no going back. There's no fixing the United States government, and that's the sad thing. There is no fixing it. There is no fixing it. What's going to happen is the shit has to fall. We can't reach a budget because we don't even have checks and balances in. We don't have no checks and balances in DC. It's oh, hold on. A lobbyist said what? You're going to give me how much if I vote your way? Oh, yes. Hold on a minute. Yeah. Oh, I came in making 100,000 a year, but I went out, served one term. I'm a millionaire now. Well, thank you, DC. Yeah, bullshit. She gets chief retirement plus 100% full disability. Yep, the rules are changing for everybody. The biggest rules that are changing are right here in the United States. You know why? Because we have sat back and said, oh, let me twiddle my thumbs. What can I do about this? Oh, no, let me go file my taxes because they borrowed my money and then they're going to give it back to me. Come on, folks. Come on. Let's get real. The real deal is this. The United States is a goddamn mess. We went from being the referee to the international police. And the day that we stepped from one arena to the other, what has occurred is that now we carry all the financial burden of the world. And now that they've gotten us so overstepped, and we have government that will not tighten their belt and do for this country instead of doing for everybody else, we are on the verge of the full tilt. And when the full tilt happens, from Israel to China to Russia, all of them are going to raise their ugly heads against the United States and say, well, you didn't do this and you didn't do that. They already are polling. They're already pulling and selling back treasury bonds quicker than quick. They're going to do that until they rush them all back into the United States. And when the American dollar fails, because it's just a piece of paper and we just continually keep printing it, and when you have too much, what happens? What the fuck happens? Right? Supply and demand. So when we get all this paper back and we get all these bonds back from around the world, then what is going to happen? You might as well load that shit in a wheelbarrow and take it down to your burn pit because that's all it's going to be worth. The American dollar is crumbling before our very eyes. It is going to be absolutely worthless. But right now, it's worthless. As we've seen over the last 2 years, when you go to the grocery store, I look back at a grocery haul that we did about 2 years ago to one we just did. Sickening. You go somewhere and you spend $50 and you're like, where did the $50 just go? And we are at the point of the full tilt. We are at the point of their great grand reset. Their window was narrow and they have pushed Agenda 2030 and all their other fucking agendas right down our goddamn throat. And I tell you what, folks, I agree, Mama Freddie. Light this bitch up. I appreciate y'all being here. Let's go ahead and light it up. Light it up. And I appreciate all of you. We'll have a live stream tonight, but be prepared for $5 a gallon gas. Be prepared for the other bullshit that's incoming. And be prepared for nuclear chaos or war. Because now that the situation happened with the hospital, and they're calling lies on it, and that didn't happen, and this, what really did occur. And the thing is all it's going to take is too many people calling bullshit and one person saying, well, nope, I think it's true. And then one country is going to say, yep, it's true, it happened. And then what's going to happen is it's going to go down. Somebody is going to push the god dang button. And when they do, there's not going to be any going back for any of us. I don't think there's any going back at this point. But I want to say, it's time, one, to find a way to get back to basics, to do the things that are important for you and your family. And I can't even find our dang song here. I might have to search here a minute. Um, it is one of those things, folks, that if we don't stand, we're going to just keep on falling. And right now, protect your Second Amendment and all get out. Do every freaking thing that you got to do. There, I got it. I found it. So let's light this baby up. And remember, keep standing. And I'll see you all tonight for a OTWP mag get together. Let's laugh, party, and dance while we still can. And we all need that. But right now, let's light this bitch up.
I'm in line with the stars, I'm in sync with the earth. 10 toes deep, flower child from the turf. I never switch sides, like even when I die, I'm a ride for the squad, let her ties in the hearse. I've been on a vibe, kinda hard to describe. I'm in between, I'm good and it's fine, but I'm tired of the grind. Then I come alive in the night to realize I'm in the middle of the time of my life. I never so packed for the stack, never lied on the rap. Got a bag from the way that I write it. Queen looking Tyson, do that ass the vibe. Doing 80 to the house, then I hit into the sky, change haters on a tirade. Talking to the grip in the face, be still, let that hate stuff fade. We all want the same, we all want a meal in the safe. I wanna live like I'm trying to get enlightenment. Trail spill from my lips, feel big from the bib. Take a sip till I pass out. Try and get grit, but it don't make sense. Cause you can lose life on this fast route. Yeah, turn thoughts to a cash cow. I might flip that to the glass house. I don't need the accolades, I'm in love with the chase. I just wanna eat, save a spot at the table. Beats with the slack, pin myself on the map. I'm long with the wind, but we knowing that it's cap. 5-hour flights, couple nights at the flat. To be real, couldn't see me making moves while I'm at. I'm still on the grind, every time when I chat. I'm burning down sage, keep the demons away. When I write it, give a piece of myself to the page. I don't do it for the praise, love, that's just how I'm made.
From the glass in the mirror, yeah. Do it at me, old man, tryna pass in the fear. You're the first one to talk, but the last one to hear. Eyes blurry, but I couldn't see the ass, and he cleared down. Start to feel like I'm on one. Settle in, I'll be here for the long run. I'm a slave for the cash, got snakes in the grass, no brakes on the ad, but it's all fun. We done seen it all, heard it all. Heard enough, give me space before I murder y'all. 10 bad bitches here, I'ma curve them all. 12 missed calls, and I still made a curtain call. Here to light it up, lighten up. Hear I'm talking, they ain't right enough, tighten up. Everything that I came for, I left with. I don't bang sets, I just bang on the set list. Going past supper when I came for the breakfast. Put me in your prayers, I might put you on the guest list. Young niggas ain't reckless. Gold in my soul, got the same on the necklace, bitch.
Light it up, light it up, light it up.